Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is now time for the best real estate podcast online. It is time for Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live with Mike and Dave Elkins, presented by Elite Realty Group.
Here we go. Let's talk about 3 things you as a home buyer, let's get her name up there.
Yeah.
3 things you as home buyers should not do in the process of purchasing a home. Now remember, these are things that you shouldn't do. These are just our opinions. We got I sometimes forget to put that out there. These are just our opinions.
We're full of opinions.
We got a lot of them, right? We got a lot of them. This isn't legal advice. This isn't financial advice. There are proper people that can give you that type of advice. We're just here to give you some opinions today. So here's 3 things you shouldn't, as a home buyer, do in the purchase process. Here's number 1, all right? Okay. In the market that we're in today, would you agree with me, we're in a very competitive market?
Absolutely.
A lot of times we're seeing people find the home that they want. And again, they put the offer in, multiple offers come in, they end up getting outbid for the home, and literally it deflates you pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's the house you want, you already seen your stuff in there, moving in, you saw the kids playing in the yard, whatever. You saw yourself living in that community.
You're sold on it.
Yes, love it. Walk in, oh, this is my dream home. This is what I want. But we see sometimes people put those offers in there and they don't get the house.
No.
Unfortunately.
Right.
We wish you got it too, but unfortunately they don't get it. And here's what they do that you should never do.
Right.
They quit.
They just give up.
They give up on the dream that they have of being a homeowner, becoming a homeowner, moving up, vacation, whatever it is. They simply just give up on that dream.
Right.
Don't ever quit.
No.
Do not ever quit in not only looking for real estate. Let's go a little motivational here.
Let's get it.
Don't ever quit in anything that you do, man. You can always continue moving forward, whether that be in your life, whether that be in real estate, whether that be in personal business that you have. Keep on going. I heard this be said. It's that's not what defines us.
No.
Getting knocked down, getting beat out on a home, getting this or that is not what defines you as a person.
No.
What defines you is whether you get up or not. Right? So don't ever quit on the dream. If you are watching today, you know someone watching today, it can become very frustrating in the housing industry to get the home that you want. It's hard to do sometimes, but don't ever give up on that. If you're approved, you want to do that. A lot of people we hear, well, I just guess it wasn't meant to be. I guess it just wasn't meant to happen. Don't ever quit on that. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I tell people that all the time, though, that when people do get beat out on a house or something like that, I believe everything happens for a reason.
I do too.
So it was for some reason. It wasn't meant to be.
You didn't get that house.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes. So again, you should never, because here's what we say: there is always, especially in our market, and this is pretty much, I think, standard nationwide. There are always homes coming and going from the market.
Yes.
New ones coming on, ones getting sold, expired, so on and so forth. There's always new homes coming on the market. So again, don't ever give up, because the time that you're sitting on the sideline, maybe give up for a while or whatever, the house that really could be meant to be for you, it comes by.
Right, and I've told people that before in a different sense about people's kind of afraid to pull the trigger on one.
Yes. Because
they always got in the back of their mind is what's going to come on the market tomorrow.
Right, what can come? What's next?
So I mean, it's a Well, they call it a catch-22.
Yeah, it's a catch-22. But again, don't give up is the point.
No,
never give up as a home buyer.
Don't give up, but when you find the one, pull the trigger.
Pull the trigger on it. Because again, today the house could come on the market that you gave up on yesterday of looking for the house, and the one that you really fits you perfectly, fits you perfectly, that one comes on. So number one is 3 things you should never do as a home buyer and when looking for a home is 1, never quit.
Right.
All right, number 2. What's number 2?
Number 2, I think this is a big one for me. I emphasize this a lot. Is never rely on verbals.
Tell them what a verbal is.
A verbal, it goes deep, but for me the verbal is, and for you realtors that's watching, yes, I'm saying we need to do more work.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I'm putting it on us. We need to be telling people, do not do verbals.
Right.
Because when you put it on paper, put that offer on paper, and slide it over to that seller, it's a whole different ballgame than just verbally saying
saying I'm going to do this,
right.
I'm going to do that. We see that sometimes in not only the price of the house, right. I'll give you X amount of dollars for it. Put that in writing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're a realtor. Another good reason to work with a realtor, by the way.
Yes.
Now, used to, we lived in a society that a handshake meant something.
Right.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Not so much
There's
anymore.
a few that do.
Sure. And not saying that. But I'm saying just to make sure you've got all your bases covered, put that in writing.
Everything you do.
Everything that you do.
If it's
everything.
If it's not in writing, it don't mean the hill of beans.
No,
you know?
Because again, that's what I was going to get to. We see this in what should I say, in offers. Mm-hmm. We see just, I'll give you X amount of dollars, but we also see it moving on through the deal.
Right.
Oh, I'll leave the stove.
Right.
I'll clean out the basement.
Right.
I'll fix the downspout.
The swing set in the backyard.
Yes, and it's just a verbal thing.
Right.
If there's something you want to make sure that you have as part of your deal, put it in writing,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Put it in writing, sign it, get the signature from the other side. Now you got a legal document. Exactly. Now it's not just mine and your word.
Right.
But again, we see a lot of people sometimes that'll, again, totally go outside the scope of a real estate agent or anyone, and they'll make these side deals of just these verbal handshakes. And then when the deal closes, the swing set's not in the backyard.
Right.
And I thought we were getting the swing set. That way, if it's in writing, you know that, again, it's going to be there, right? It's going to be there. So that's one of the things. Again, make sure you got everything in writing. Again, people, I don't want you to misconstrue the truth here of what we're trying to say. People are still good for their word. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But you really can't get into any problems, any misunderstandings. How many misunderstandings have you had?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Just again, we didn't understand it that way. Or we thought this, or we thought that. And it really is a simple misunderstanding.
Right.
But because it being in writing eliminates that.
Right.
It eliminates that totally for you. We're talking today about 3 things home buyers should never do in the purchase process of a home. Number 1 was never give up, never quit.
Right.
Never quit. Number 2 was never rely on verbals, never rely on those. And number 3 is, and this one's a big one too, number 3 is never think that the work is over.
Man, this is big too.
Once the offer is accepted.
Yeah.
You go through so much of the negotiations.
Right.
It sometimes can get really time consuming. It can get really, stressful.
Right.
And you think, my offer's accepted. It's a done deal. And you kind of take a deep breath and sit down and relax.
Just wait to move in now.
Exhale.
Yeah.
Exhale.
Yeah.
Waiting to exhale. So never think, though, that the work is over at that part.
No, that's when the deadline starts.
That's when it really gets going.
Yeah.
That's when it really cranks up.
Right.
Now, what I'm going to say to you here is I'm going to make a point here. Again, it's a point that we want you to know about. But these things we're talking about to you today, this is another good reason to use a licensed real estate agent, a realtor, to help you through the process of what you do. Again, because we're going to help you with all of these things.
Hand in hand.
We're going to help you with this. We're not going to make the decisions for you.
No.
We're not going to force you into, if you're working with the force, be careful.
Right.
We're not going to force, we can't. We can't force you into do that. No. We have a code of ethics that we go by that says we will adhere to those ethics, and we got to go by those things. But never think that it's over when the offer is accepted, because again, that's when deadlines begin to start. You got to get that. We talked about a mortgage application earlier. We talked about in our word of the day application. Yeah. That's when those deadlines kick in. That's when appraisals kick in. That's when home inspections kick in. That's when final inspections, all of that, those things, deadlines and stuff starts. You miss those deadlines?
Yeah, people don't realize everything's on a time frame.
You miss those, the seller could back out of the deal.
Right. The whole deal could be done.
You could lose your earnest
money.
We're
right back to telling you don't quit.
Yes, absolutely. We're back at that point right there. So again, don't just assume, never think that, well, I got the deal accepted, everything's done, it's finished up, it's over, it's good, so on and so forth. No, that's when it really does get to start.
That's when it fires up.
That's when it goes. That's when in 30 to 45 days you're going to be a homeowner of the new home that you've picked out for you and your family. So let's recap. 3 things you should never do as a home buyer. Number 1 is never quit.
Right,
never quit.
And that's just not for home buyers.
That's right. Never quit in anything, man. I tell my kids all the time, you can do anything you want to, but you can't quit.
Right.
You cannot quit. You got to see through what you started out to do, and that's a good rule to live by. Never quit. Number 2 is don't rely on verbals. Get everything in writing. And that's not just in real estate either. Exactly. That's in life. Get it in writing.
We're giving life lessons.
We're on fire right now, right?
Yeah.
Get it in writing. Number 3 is never think that it's over once that deal is accepted.
Hey, that's another life lesson. It ain't over till it's over.
Go with you're on, ain't you? You're feeling it today. Again, we thank you guys. That's our real estate talk for today.
We thank each and every one of you for listening to today's podcast. Tune in for future episodes by subscribing to our channel and get the latest and greatest real estate information right here on Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live, presented by Elite Realty Group. Until next time, have a great and blessed day.